Now, this was the homework, and almost all of you have done it right. You know what the Bhavachanam. It was simple. Saha becomes te, Vanara. All these they follow the same pattern depending on the lingam. Vanaraha is Vanaraha. The Akaranta Strilingam. So that becomes Patrika, becomes Patrikaha. And when it is Napunsakalingam, like Paranam, or Upanetram, it becomes Upanetrani or Paranani, etc. And Saha becomes Te, Sa becomes Taha, Esha becomes Ete, Tat becomes Tani, Sa becomes Taha, etc. Saha becomes Te, Esha, Ete. Now, so there is still some clarification needed, which like when this becomes in the plural form, when this becomes ni, when this becomes ni.
Oh yes.
Like some of you have got it. Some of you have got it, but let us take a quick look. I had also sent a link in my previous class email. Right. So what you can do, I don't know whether you have got a chance to look at it. You go to here grammar, or maybe I sent it in the WhatsApp, I think. Go to grammar on this my blog site, and then at the bottom, scroll down to the bottom, there is a link here. Change to N and use of Anuswara. Change to Na. Change this one. So follow that link. So here there are some information. Scroll down here. So there's a Natvam. When Na changes to Na in a word. Okay. So there are many rules when the Na changes to Na in a word. So but there are some simple rules we can remember. So one is that when Na is immediately preceded by Ru, Ra and Sha. Ru, Ra and Sha. These examples. Immediately preceded. Na is immediately preceded by means what? First there should be one of these three. Actually this is Ra and Sha, like this. They are Vyanjanams. They are consonants. Or it could be, after that it could be vowel also. Like for example here, Guru, there is a vowel. Here there is a vowel, Ra and like that. Here there is no vowel. Here there is a vowel, Sha and E. So after that, Guru is there here, for example, Guru. And after that there is a Na, right? Guru, there is originally it was Na. Here. Now it is changing to Na because there is a Ra before this Na, immediately before Ra. And actually in between that there is a U. But any swara or vowel is also allowed in between this Ra and Sha. That's fine. Ru itself is a vowel, so no question on that. So here Cha, Ra, Na, Ma. Here also there is a Na in between. Previously it was Na, and because of Ra, it is changing to Na, Charanam. And here also Vish. There is Sha, Vish, and there is a Nuhu originally, and they are changing to Nu. And here also Ru, Shi, like Guru, there is a Ru, Shi, Sha, and there is a E after that, E is vowel, and there is a Na. So Na, immediately before that there is a vowel, and before that there is a Sha. So this is also changing to Na. That is one rule. Now in a single word between Na and this, these are Ru, Ra, Sha. These are called Nimittam. Nimittam means trigger. You can call it a trigger. These are the triggering letters needed to change this Na to Na. So these are triggers. But just the presence of trigger is not enough. Okay? So either one of these conditions should be satisfied. One is that it should be either immediately, the trigger letter should be immediately before na, maybe in between there could be a vowel, or in a single word between these two, when all the letters are vowels, or one of these, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, or pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, or ya, va, ha. Actually, there should be la also. Ya, va, la. So, so what happens here? You see here, Ramana, ma. Here Rama is there, and there is a na. Originally there was a na here, Ramana. There, before na, immediately before na, there is no ra. In between them there is a ma here. But ma is one of these letters, right? There is a ma here. So here ma. So that changes to, this changes to na. Ramana. Similarly, Narayana. So there is, at the end there was a na before, and in between there is a ya. Before that is a ra, but then in between there is a ya. So that is also, because there is a ya also is here in this list. So this list is simple. It looks long, but it is simple. How it is simple? Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga belongs to the first line, right, in that Vyanjanam table. And pa, pha, ba, bha, ma is the last line, right, in that 5 by 5 consonants table. First line is ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. Because these all, the sthanam or the position for this pronunciation is throat, kantha, and pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, position for these 5 letters, which is the last line in that 5 by 5 consonant table. The position for pa, pha, ba, bha, ma, what is the position? Anybody remember?
Labia.
Labial. Labial means the lips. So for this the position is throat, for this the position is lips. And ya, va, ha, they have their own positions, but they are in the last, in the last line of that consonants list. So this is simple. So between the trigger letters and the na following that, if in between there is one of these, then the na changes to na. So here also paramanu, there is a ma in between. Shashakena, here na there at the end there is a sh, trigger letter. In between there is a ka, which belongs to this group. So that changes to na. So now here if you check, but what about paranani? So here if you check this pa, ra, and there is a na, right? This parana and parana, and there is a ni here at the end. Now do we want to change this ni to na? Let's check. This is a trigger letter is there, but what is in between? This is a na. This is a na, which is not on this list. So this na doesn't change to na. This parana and ni, this changes, this remains ni only. Paranani. And what about upanetrani or netrani? So in this netrani we have ne, and there is a ta, and there is a ra, and ni was there before, upanetra, and we are adding the ni for make it bahuvachanam. What happens here? There is a trigger, but before, in between, is there anything here? In between, this is a trigger, and there is a na. In between, there is only vowel here, a. So it will change to ni because there is no stopping. Other than these vowel or one of these letters, if there is some other letter coming in between this trigger and na, then it will stop. It will prevent changing from ni to ni. So what about nakshatrani? Same. It is same as netrani. So nakshatrani is also same. There is a ra, and there is a, at the end we want to add ni as a suffix for bahuvachanam in the napunsakalingam. So whether we want to change it to ni, yes, it will change to ni, because there is a trigger, and in between there is just a vowel. There is no stopping or preventing letter.
So, Mahodaya, the last line says, following this rule, the correct word is Parnani, not Parnani. It's the other way around, right?
No, correct word is Parnani, right? This is the right one. The ni doesn't change to ni in case of this. Right? What is Parnani? Va, ra, na, and there is a ni. Not this na. This is part of the original. This na is part of the original word. Parana, right? Parana. That is the original word. Now we are adding this to make it change it to bahuvachanam. The question is on this, whether we want to change this ni to na. Now there is a trigger, but in between there is a preventing letter, which doesn't belong to this.
Okay. So in the word Ramayana, after Ra, both Ma and Ya are there, right?
Correct. Yes. Ramayana. There also Na was there. Na was supposed to be there because the Rama plus Ayana. Ayana means marg. Ayana means road or a way. Ayana is the original word. Rama plus Ayana. Now this Ayana comes here. Ramayana. It becomes Ramayana. Now this, because Ma and Ya both are on this list. Right? Ma and Ya both are here. Both are not preventing it. So it changes to Na. Ramayanam. So with that you can apply it for other, like for example, there's no other trigger letter anywhere, right? In this example. Okay. Any other question?
Sanjeev ji, Shiva here.
Yeah.
So I actually got that one wrong.
Which one?
That very one that your course is.
Paranam?
Yeah, I didn't have. I had the Adana.
Okay, that's fine.
Now I understand your rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Would you mind, which ones are supposed to change then on this list? Just number 6 or?
No, 6 is not supposed to change. Paranani. Others are supposed to change. Upanetrani and what was nakshatra was there? Yeah, nakshatram is supposed to change. Nakshatrani.
16. Nakshatrani. And upanetram. Thank you.
And same with the gruhani. Like now understand gruha, it is written here on the on the screen you see here, gruham. So gruham, why does it change to gruhani and not gruhani? So why does it change to gruhani? What is it? What is made up of? What is the trigger letter here?
R. The R.
Trigger letter. Trigger. Yeah. So which are the? One of these should be the trigger letters, right? R, sha. Before na, not after na. Before na. So what are the trigger letters here? What is the trigger letter in Graham? Ru. Ru. Ru, only 3 letters are triggering. Could be trigger. Ru or Ra or Sha. Murdanya Sha. So there is a Ru here, right? Gru. Ga. So what is Gruham made of? Varnakrama. Ga is a Vyanjanam first, or consonant, and then there's a Ru. This is a Swara, or a vowel. Then there is a Ha. Gruha. This is what Gruha is made up of. And to that, and when it is turning into Bahuvachanam, first it is Gruha, and then we are adding Ni there. To any Napumsakalinga word, not any actually, but which follow this pattern. The patterns we are seeing, there are lot of other types of words in Napumsakalinga words in Sanskritam which may not follow this particular pattern. Anyway, which follow this pattern, that is what we are studying now. So when to turn it into Bahuvachanam, we are adding Ni at the end, after like Phalam, Phale, Phalani. Vanam, Vane, Vana, sorry, Vane is the Dvivachanam. Vanam changes to Vanani in the Bahuvachanam. So we are adding Ani, like you can think of it as adding Ani. So if it is Vana is the original word, in the Ekavachanam it becomes Vanam. We are just adding Ma there. And in Bahuvachanam we are adding Ani to this, it becomes Vanani. So this Ani is the common suffix we add to these type of Napumsakalinga words. So in this Gruha also, singular is Gruham. For plural we are adding Ani. So now the question is whether to change this Ni to Ni. Now we'll have to look whether there is a trigger there. There is a trigger letter, Ru, which is not immediately before this Na, which is our object of another question here under this. But there is in between there is a Ha. Okay? In Ha is vowel. So all the vowels are okay. They don't prevent it changing Ni to Ni. And there is Ha also. And Ha, is it on that list? We'll have to check. So, and the list is easy to remember. List is one is the Ka series, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Nga. Other is the Pa series, Pa, Pa, Ba, Bha, Ma. The other one is Ya, Lava, Ha. Ha is there on that list. So if you look at that list there, see Ha here. So Ha doesn't prevent. These letters do not prevent. Other than these, if there is any other letter in between, then it will prevent. So now it will not prevent changing that Ni to Ni. So this becomes Gruhani. Okay. Hope it is clear. If it is clear, we'll move to the next topic.
So adding a vowel in between the Ha and the Ni, it still changes, right?
Yeah, changes. Vowels do not prevent.
Okay. Thank you.
Does Namapadani mean plural or?
Namapadani is plural.
Okay, thank you.
Like Namapadam is singular. Padam. Padam is the word which is Napumsakalinga. Padam itself is a Napumsakalinga Padam. Namapadam, and its plural is Padani. Namapadani. Similarly, Lingam also. Lingam is also itself is a Napumsakalingam. It is a neuter word, Lingam. Like Pullingam, we have Pullingam, Napumsakalingam, and Strilingam. So So that lingam word is itself is an Napumsakalinga word. Same thing as vachanam also. Vachanam is also an Napumsakalinga word. And itself is a singular here. Bahuvachanam is also singular. These words are in singular. But this, to indicate here there are words, this is a plural word. Namapadani. So another example here, there is chitram. Chitram doesn't change to ni or ni in the Bahuvachanam. So here we want to add ani. So ni is coming here. Does it change to ni or ni?
Ni.
Huh?
It becomes ni, the one that you wrote, not
Ni, ni.
Ni, and it changes to ni. Why? Why does it change to ni?
The trigger letter is ra.
Ra. Okay, and there is nothing except there is a vowel. There's nothing in there. There's a vowel in between. A. So chitrani. The same thing with patrani. Same thing with patrani. Okay. What about mukham? What is the plural here? So there is a ni coming here. Does it change to ni?
No.
No, it doesn't change. Why doesn't it change?
There is no trigger letter here.
There is no trigger at all. So first there has to be one of the three trigger letters, Ru, Ra, Sha, and then in between there should not be any preventing letter. So both has to be satisfied. Now, so same thing, Mitram, Mitrani. So here there is a change. Vastram, Vastrani. There is a change. What about Pushpam?
It's Pushpani. It is a change.
Pushpani coming here. Does it change?
Yes.
Why does it change? Yes. Why does it change?
Sh and Pa.
No is the trigger letter and pa.
Pa is not preventing. Pa, pa, bha, ma. Okay. Pa is not preventing. So it changes. Pushpani. Alright. So next one. So I'm moving forward with shashthi vibhakti. So the sixth case ending. So each nama padam or a noun. Sorry, what happened? I pressed something. Each nama padam depending on the role it plays in a sentence takes one of these forms which is shown here. So every nama padam has one of these three vachanam. Vachanam means the number. Ekavachanam, dvivachanam or bahuvachanam. There is a dvivachanam also which we'll study that form later. So ekavachanam and bahuvachanam, dvivachanam. There are three numbers. If there is one object, we will use ekavachanam. If there are two objects, we use dvivachanam or dual. If there are more than two, then we use plural form or bahuvachanam form of that namapadam. And then there is a declension also. Each row here, each row is called declension. The prathama is a declined form. So it's called, they are numbered here. Prathama means first, and then there is a sambodhana means addressing. Ditya is second. tritiya, third, chaturthi, fourth, panchami is fifth, shashthi is sixth, saptami is seventh. Let me try to zoom in. What happened? Fit.
Yeah.
So saptami is the seventh one. So it takes one of these forms. What is the significance of these different forms of the same namapadam? So they indicate different roles played in a sentence by that noun. For example, if you take an English sentence here, for example, if you take this, boy gives big book to his friend in the library on Sunday. Okay. Suppose this is a sentence. So what all is happening here? There are different nouns. There is a verb here. What is the verb here? Verb is gives. Right? Gives is a verb, and who is giving? Boy is giving. So different other nouns here, they are playing different roles. Boy is playing the role of subject, the act of giving itself. Okay? And what is he giving? Book. That is another noun here. What is being given? So that has its own role in this sentence. To whom it is giving? It is given. To friend. Whose friend? His friend. And where it is, where the action is happening in the library. On what day it is happening? Sunday. And here on, in the, and big, etc. They also have, or to. They also have their own role, right? Because just Sunday, we can't just use Sunday. Boy gives big book to his friend in the library Sunday. So in English, that doesn't mean anything. We need on. So on Sunday, that preposition, so that has to be attached to convey that meaning. Similarly, in the library, so that becomes one unit. And to his friend or to friend, he may not be absolutely necessary, but just to add additional information, whose friend, we can add his. But so this becomes to friend becomes one unit here. Similarly, book, and here we are using big here because what kind of book? So big book, though it is not necessary, but additional information may be provided by additional noun or words here. But importantly here, if you see on Sunday in the library, so this in the library, just using the library is not enough. Boy gives book, friend, library, Sunday, so they do not mean anything. So we need the preposition in this English language to add to. Boy gives book to friend, that makes meaning. That means something. And in the library, so that the whole unit makes something. On Sunday means something. So now we can turn this, shuffle this, so we can give boy gives book on Sunday to friend in the library. So on Sunday can come earlier also. And in the library can come before also. Boy gives book in the library to his friend. So the whole unit we can move around. So similarly in Sanskritam, in a Sanskrit sentence also, these kind of things are there. Like we use, there will be a verb in a sentence, and around that verb there will be different nouns indicating their relationship with the verb. For example, here in this case, give is there. Give is the verb, and who is giving is the question. So answer is boy. Who is giving? Boy is giving. What is he giving? What is the question on giving, right? Who is doing that action, and on what the action is being done. So on the book. Where is again the question on the action, where it is being done, and when the action is being done, that when. So all this who, where, when, what, these are all the questions which are being asked with reference to the verb here, the action word. So similarly here, so based on that answer, like, or the question here, these prepositions will be important. So where, in the question, the in preposition comes there. Why? Where he gives. Where is he giving? In the library. On. When? On Sunday. On. To whom? To friend. What? Big. There is no preposition, but that is a questioner. What? Book. So based on the question, the different prepositions, they are attached and they make certain meanings here. In Sanskritam, instead of the prepositions, we are using suffixes. So on a Sanskrit noun, in Sanskrit language, on a noun, if you take this example here, see what these different forms of the words they indicate. They are nothing but we are adding different suffixes to the noun base. This is called noun base, which you see here on the top. Rama Shabda. So Rama is the noun base. To that, we are adding different suffixes, just like in that English sentence. For example, here to the Sunday, we added the prefix here or a preposition on to change the meaning to indicate that the action is happening on that particular time or day. So similarly, how do we do that to a Sanskrit noun? To a Sanskrit noun, there are no prepositions. There are suffixes, which are called vibhakti. These suffixes are called vibhakti in case of a noun. So vibhakti, and actually they are called pratyaya. Pratyaya means suffix. Vibhakti pratyaya means a declension suffix. Means vibhakti pratyaya, they are added to nouns. These suffixes are added to noun base. Noun base, you can think of something like this example, Sunday is the base word. And to that we are adding some preposition. So the whole meaning changes. So similarly, something like that, in Sanskritam, to a base word, we add a suffix to bring that into a certain role. Like, for example, on Sunday, that is the time or day at which the action is happening. So here also, we add a particular suffix to indicate, to change the role that is played by that noun in a sentence. So here there are actually 8 different types or roles are possible here in a sentence played by a noun. Different roles are possible. So based on what role it has to play, we add a suffix. And this suffix, unlike in the English language, in English prepositions is a separate word. Like whenever we say in library, to friend, on Sunday. So this on is a separate word compared to Sunday. It is not part of the Sunday word. So on is a separate word. But here in Sanskritam, these suffixes become part of that word. They form a single word. So there is a base word here, Rama. So this base word itself cannot be used in a sentence. So we add a suffix called vibhakti, and then it becomes a single word. So there is no separation like to and Sunday. It becomes a single word, and here it is Ramam, it is Ramena. It is a single word, and then that word can be used in a sentence. So once to the base word, when we add a suffix like vibhakti as a suffix, then it becomes a single word, and that single word can be used in a sentence depending on its role. Okay? So here Ramam, Ramena, Ramaya, Ramat, Ramasya, Rame, these are the different forms of this base word, and only these are the final forms of the words. This is the base word. Base word cannot be used in a sentence. So these are the final forms of the words after adding the suffix, and they change the meaning or the role played by that word in a sentence, and one of these words, one of these word forms can be used in a sentence. And obviously we'll have to keep in mind the number also, whether it is a singular or dual or plural when using it in a sentence. So some examples are given here to give you a overall idea of the role played when that particular form is used. For example, when we use Ramaha, this is used in something like this: Rama goes. When it is a subject, when we say in the previous English example, boy gives a book. So giving action is done by boy. So in that case, this prathama or the first declension form is used. Ramaha, like this. And the sambodhanam, this form is used when there is a addressing or we are calling somebody. So then this form is used. And the second form, Ditiya, second form is used when when we want to use that word in this role as an object. For example sentences are given here. Look at Rama. So this Rama is an object here. Or give the book. So the book in that sentence, book is an object. Or eat the food. Food is an object. So when it is an object, in that case, the second declension form is used. Similarly, the third declension form is used in such roles when we convey the meaning like by. So something like demons were killed by Rama, or I ate food by, or using or with the spoon. I ate the food with spoon. So that with spoon, where there with or by is used as a preposition in English sentence, but in Sanskritam we used this declined form, which is the third declined form, to convey a similar meaning. So similarly, there are others also, like when there is a for to kind of prepositions, salutes to Rama or for Rama. So in that case, we use the fourth declension form, and the fifth declension form when there is something like from, like some Ravana fears from Rama, or another example is river flows from the mountain. So that, or the leaf falls from the tree. So where there is a from kind of relation, then we use the fifth declension form. Then there is a sixth declension form where there is a simple relationship between two nouns. Like for example, Rama's story, my book, or your house, something like that. There is a relationship between two nouns here. So Rama and story, there is a relationship. The story belongs to Rama. So then we use this sixth declension form in that case. Then Saptami, or seventh declension form, this form is used when there is location is indicated, like in, on, at. Some action is happening in that place or on something at that place. So, or there is the qualities are in Rama. Qualities are in Rama. Rama is holding those qualities. So Rama is a place where those qualities reside. Or I stay in a city. So in a city. So where there's a in kind of relationship is there, on kind of relationship is there. For example, book is on the table. So on kind of relationship is there. So in that case, this seventh declension form is used. So these are the different declension forms. So through our course, this course, we'll be studying simple forms of some of these simple nouns we are looking at. So we will be going through all these different declension forms, or vibhakti rupani. There is called vibhakti rupani in Sanskrit. Again, rupa is a rupam. Rupam is a napunsakalinga. Rupam means form. Rupam. So here also, when changing to bahuvachanam, it becomes rupani. So we will be studying these forms throughout our course, and also there will be studying few other things also along with these forms. So now the first form, declension form, we are going to study is shashthi form, the sixth form. We are not going in sequence because of the usage or its utility in our everyday use, and because the shashthi or the relationship form is very widely used and it is very useful just to form simple sentences like this. Because generally when we say when we ask the question, what is your name, we say my name. So there is a my name, the name belongs to me, right? So there is a relationship, my name. So the sixth declension form is used there. Similarly, any object belonging to me, my shirt, my hat, my hair, my nose, anything, my face, or your food, something like that, or your book, or his book. So anything we want to reference the relationship between the two objects or two nouns, we need this sixth vibhakti or shashthi vibhakti. We need this shashthi vibhakti. So that's why we are starting with shashthi.
So my name becomes mama namasya.
No. Yeah, we'll come there.
Okay.
It is just mama nama, right?
I'm going to ask a clarification. So when you say noun, in English, a name is a proper noun. But in this case, you're thinking any proper noun or noun. So whether it's a name of a place or a person or just a regular noun, it's all the same with the declensions. Is that right? So if I were to say, like, Radhika's, then it's going to change with these declensions.
Yes. And not only proper noun, any noun.
So
if I understood your question, right?
Yeah, you did. And then I'm probably jumping ahead, but then how do you know what the name is? I mean, just sticking with a name, Rama, how do you know what the name actually is?
No. What is your question? Your question is about the noun or name?
The name.
No, here we are talking about any noun, not only a proper name. These declensions or these forms are applicable to not only proper noun, any name, any noun. It could be tree, it could be book, school, house, anything.
Sanjeev Mahodaya, just a quick question. For the pratyaya, you're talking about the suffix. Would that be different depending on the noun's ending, or would that be the same? Like we have a pattern here, right? Like Rama,
Right.
Ram, because this word is ending with ma, so we have aha, ma, na, ya, ta, sha, and me.
Right.
So if the noun ends with a different consonant or vowel, would that be different, or are we keeping the same pattern?
No, the patterns will be different depending on the ending.
Okay.
Depending on the ending of the base word here, base noun. Base noun is Rama. That is, you got it right. Base word is Rama. Depending on the base word, this pattern table will be different.
Okay, thank you.
So, we'll be studying, as we have taken up in our this first level, Level-1 course, we are focusing on only certain types of these nouns. You might already have guessed it. So for Pullingam, we are focusing on the words which are ending in, what is this ending in? What is the ending letter here?
Ma.
Oh, it is not ma. Okay? It is not ma because it's not a consonant. So there is a at the end. So this is ending in a. And so we are in this L1, level 1. We are just going to just focus on different forms of certain nouns of these patterns. So one is this, the pullingam or masculine gender, pullingam ending in a, whose noun base is ending in a, like Rama or Balaka, etc., which we already studied, like Balakaha, Deepaha, Parvataha. These are Mushakaha, Marjaraha, Simhaha. So these are all ending in a, right? The base word is ending in a, though at the end we have studied like aha, Balakaha, right? So where is this aha is, aha you see here, the aha is Visarga, right? Where do you see in this table? You see it here at the very first one. Ekavachanam, first line, Prathama, first declension. So actually so far, like Parvataha, Moshakaha, Suryaha, Kandukaha, Ramaha, Balakaha, all those we have studied, they are actually first declension Ekavachanam. Ekavachanam we know so far we have studied Ekavachanam and Bhuvachanam. So we know this Parvataha, Moshakaha, Simhaha, Vyagraha, Shugala, they are all Ekavachanam. But on what declension form it is? It is first declension form. Okay? Because they are all ending, the pullinga words we have studied so far, they are all ending in Visarga. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So their base word, respective base words are without the Visarga. That you can understand. For example, Parvataha, we have studied Parvataha. What is the base word of Parvataha? Like for example here, we are saying base word of Ramaha is Rama. So you just remove that Visarga. So that becomes the base word. Like for example, Parvataha, the base word is just Parvata. And similarly, Balakaha, base word is Balaka. Moshakaha, which means mouse, the base word is Moshaka. Shugalaha, base word is Shugala. So all the base words are without the Visarga. For the words we are studying. This may not be the case for all other words in the language. We are focusing only on certain words, just to get started. So what kind of words we are focusing on? We are focusing on the masculine words, pullingam words, whose base words are ending in a, like this one, Rama, Parvata, etc. And also we are going to study the base word, feminine, strilingam base words, which are ending in a. Examples are Rama, Uma, Patrika, etc. Okay. Then also similarly we are also focusing on the feminine strilingam words which are ending in long e, dirgha e, like nadi, etc. What was the other word example? Nadi, Simhi, that was one of the examples. And also, so in the Napumsakalinga category, in the Pullinga category, we are focusing on this base word ending in a. And in the Strilingam, we are studying these two types of words, patterns, base word ending in a and e. And in Napumsakalingam, in neuter, we are studying the base words ending in a, like vana, phala, vatayana, upanetra, nakshatra, ending in a, base word ending in a.
Nothing. Not a u.
Not in the first
level.
This first iteration, first level. So only these ones we are going to focus first. Understand these different declension forms of these words, these patterns of these words. Then obviously once we get the understanding of the patterns, how to look for the patterns, then obviously we can move on to the other words also. The tables are available. They are everywhere. There are books, there are websites. Then you can, once you understand the concept of these declensions and where to use them, then you can just look up the words ending in other letters also. And there are all kinds of words in the Sanskrit language. Like there are words whose base words are ending in like different vowels. And there are also base words ending in vyanjanams, consonants also, not only vowels. There are base words ending in consonants. So all kinds of words are there, and there are all the table of the declension is different. But it is not that each and every word is having a different table. They all follow certain pattern. For example, this one, pulling a word ending in a follows one pattern, and striling a word ending in a follows one pattern. So all the words ending, all the striling words ending in a depends on the lingam also. That's why I'm emphasizing on lingam. Base word has a lingam. So like Rama is pullingam. Patrika is strilingam. So base word, Nadi, strilingam. Base words ending in E, strilinga words, base word ending in E, they all follow in the same pattern. Like Simhi, Nadi, all these follow the same pattern. And same thing with Napumsakalinga, neuter words ending in, base word ending in A, Vana, Netra, Nakshatra, etc. They all follow Jala, Gruha, they all follow same pattern of the declension table. So it is not too bad. So most of them follow that one, fit in that category of those patterns. Yeah, any question? Okay, coming to shashthi vibhakti. That we are going to start with simple shashthi, which is considered to be simple or more useful.
Namo Namah Mahoday.
Namo Namah. Yeah, any question? No? Okay. Saha balakah. So this is the sentence here. Saha balakah tat pustakam. So we are looking at the picture here. Saha balakah. Now, Saha balakah means he is a boy. Any noun which needs to be used in a sentence has to have one of the declension form. It has to be in one of the declined forms. So one of these forms. The forms could be different depending on the word, but it has to have a decline. It has to have one of these forms. We cannot use the base noun directly in a sentence. So in this case, if you see Saha balakah, so here balakah is in the first prathama or the first declension, ekavachanam. If you look at the table here, like Rama, so there is a balakah. So far, whatever all the words we looked at, balakah, except that mama, nama, etc. We'll come to that later. So otherwise, like moshakaha, including saha also, saha moshakaha, eshaha, parvataha. So all these words are in the first declined form, that is called Prathama Vibhakti. Prathama Vibhakti, first declined form, and it could be, Vachanam could be different, Ekavachanam or Bahuvachanam. So when we say Parvatah, Ekavachanam, Parvataha is Bahuvachanam. But both are in the Prathama Vibhakti, first declined form. So similarly it could be Moshakaha, Moshakaha, Kandukaha is Ekavachanam, Kandukaha Bahuvachanam, Balakaha, Ekavachanam, Balakaha Bahuvachanam. So, but they are in the first declined form, Ekavachanam, Prathama Vibhakti. So here we see Balakaha is in Prathama Vibhakti. Similarly, Pustakam is also in Prathama Vibhakti. So all the, again, Pustakam, Vatayanam, they are all in Napunsakalingam, but Prathama Vibhakti. So if we can look up that similar table, the declension table for the Napunsakalinga words also. So if you look at the Napunsakalinga words, I'll show you the table. Let's go to this. The same website, you can form these declensions of different words. So go to this grammar tab again. And here you see the noun forms listed here. This is one resource. There are other websites and books are also available listing these different forms. Now here Pullinga Shabda, you see here masculine words, masculine nouns ending in vowels. So one of the words is Rama here. So that is what our subject of study, right? Rama, or this kind of pattern, Palaka, Simha, Mushaka, Parvata, these are all the noun base ending in A, and they are Pullinga words. So we'll have to look at this pattern to understand their patterns also, to find out their patterns also. Similarly, if it is a Napunsakalinga word ending in A, so we have to look at this one, Phala. So this example is given here, Ajanta. Ajanta means vowel, ending in vowel. Napunsakalinga means neuter. Neuter nouns ending in vowels. So our study word here is that fits this pattern, Phala, like Vana, Vatayana, Pustaka, Gruha. The base words are ending in A. So if you look at this, you click on this, Phala, and then it opens the table, declension table of that word. So if you see here the Prathama or the first declension, Ekavachanam is Phalam. So all the neuter words we have studied so far, they fit this form. So Vatayanam, Nakshatram, Netram, Vanam, Jalam, so all these fit this pattern. So they are what we have studied, that form. It is in Prathama or first declension form and singular. And we also studied the Bahuvachanam also. Is here Phalani, like Netrani, Vastrani, Vastram, Ekavachanam, Vastrani, Bahuvachanam, etc. So it fits this pattern. So if you, anytime if you want to refer, so you can refer to these tables. So different tables are given here. Right now we are, our study or focus is on these. One is this pattern, Akaranta, the words, masculine words ending in A, this is Rama, and then Strilinga words, Akaranta, then ending in A, and Nadi. Okay? These two types of words. There are other Strilinga words which are also ending in, whose base words are also ending in E, like this. But they are slightly different patterns. So we are not actually right now looking into that pattern in our course. But if you are separately interested, you are most welcome to look at those patterns also. There is nothing wrong. Right now in our lessons, we are going to look at only these patterns. Rama, Rama, Nadi, and Phala. These 4 types. Okay. So Balakaha, it's the first declension. Prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. Pustakam is Prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. So this, in the picture we are seeing a boy, Balakaha, and also we are seeing the book here, Pustakam. Now the book belongs to the boy. So there is a relationship between the book and the boy. The book belongs to boy, or boy's book. Boy's book. So we want to say that boy's book, right, which is already here. Boy's book. So you see that the book doesn't change. The form of the book doesn't change. Book is book. And the word form, the form of the word book does not change. The pustakam remains as book. But we want to change the word form of boy to boys. So we are changing this balakaha to its balakasya as a shashthi vibhakti case, or the 6th case ending in that table. So again, if you look at the table, so what do you find here? Ramasya. Because we know balaka is a masculine word ending in whose base word is balaka, which ends in a. So this follows this pattern of this table. The case ending. The case ending here is case ending or declension. So it is Ramasya. So it has to become balakasya, because Rama was the base word. Okay, so Rama was the base word. So we are adding sya to it. So it is changing to Ramasya. So depending on it is a masculine base word ending in a. To change it into 6th case ending, that 6th line, shashthi vibhakti form, we just add sya to it. Simple. In the prathama vibhakti or the first case ending, we add visarga or sound there. Rama, balaka, parvata, etc. But in the 6th case ending, to the base word, we add sya, Ramasya. So in case of balaka, we get balakasya. So what does that mean? The meaning changes to boys. From boy, it changes to boys. Okay? Balakasya pustakam, boy's book. Now we can add a verb here. There is no verb, boy's book. In English, usually we say it is boy's book. So if you want to add is here, we can add asti. Asti is the verb we have already seen. Asti and asti. Right? So asti we can add, which to meaning is. Balakasya pustakam asti. Or we can in Sanskritam, asti is not compulsory. This is verb is asti is not compulsory. If it is not there, we can assume asti. Balakasya pustakam. That is enough. Similarly, the next one is here. Oops. Who wants to read the next line? Lakshmi. Huh? Oh, yeah. I read this, yeah. Yeah, somebody wanted to read? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll try. Saha Ashokaha. Ashoka. Saha Noka. Now ka.
Yeah, nauka.
Nauka. Ashokasya. Nauka.
Yeah, so read this again, this one again.
Sa, now, ka.
Yeah. So, why is it sa? Why is it not saha?
Feminine.
Because it's female?
Yeah, strilingam. What is strilingam?
The word
Nauka.
for boat?
Nauka. Nauka is strilingam word. That is why we are adding sa here. Sa nauka. Not saha nauka, tat nauka, etc. So it is sa nauka because nauka is strilingam. Similarly here ashokaha is pullingam. So that is why we are saying saha ashokaha. And pustakam is napunsakalingam. So we are saying tat pustakam, not sa pustakam, etc. Okay. So this is about, this we already know.
Mahodaya, now we have to complete the sentence. Like, that is Ashoka's boat. So it becomes Sa Ashokasya Nauka?
Yeah. Yeah, you can add sa here. Yeah.
Okay. Because it's still referring to Nauka. So Sa Ashokasya Nauka.
And that is, yeah, you can add that. But if you want to just say Ashoka's boat, then Ashokasya Nauka. If you want to say it is Ashoka's Nauka, it is, then you can add sa for it, right? So here we are in or it or that. That is boat. So if you want to say that is Ashoka's boat, so you can add sa Ashokasya Nauka, correct? If you want to add that. Ashokasya Nauka. Okay. Then what else? Yeah, Lakshmi Bhagini, you can read this. Next one.
Saha Vrikshaha, which means that is tree. Tat Phalam, that is fruit. Tree's fruit, it is Vrikshasya Phalam. Right.
Yeah, so I hope there is no, it is simple. Like this is, we are just studying this Vrikshasya or the shashthi the shashthi form or the sixth case ending forms of the nouns which are ending, masculine nouns which are ending in a. Base noun, base word is ending in a. Like, what is the base word for Vrikshasya?
Vriksha.
Vriksha. Vriksha. Base word for Vrikshasya is Vriksha. And what is the base word of Vrikshaha?
Vriksha.
No, same. So base word is only one. From there these are all different forms. In the first case ending it is Vrikshaha. In sixth case ending it is Vrikshasya, etc.
So in this case, like the last one, then you would say tat vrikshasya phalam.
Yeah, correct. If you want to add that is tree's fruit, then you can say tat vrikshasya phalam. Means that is the fruit of that tree. So you can add asti. If you add asti, that might sound better or to understand the meaning. Tat vrikshasya phalam asti. That is the fruit of the tree. Tat vrikshasya phalam asti. Okay, so next one. Starting on 50 window, 50 width. Okay, next one. Next couple of them, or three of them you can finish. They are all similar. Okay. Mangala Bhagini.
Namaste Mahodaya. Saha Gajaha that is an elephant. Saha dantaha, that is, it has to be tusk, no, Mahodaya?
Yeah, elephant has a tusk, okay, tusk. Danta actually means tooth. The elephant's tooth is a tusk.
Okay. Gajasya dantaha. Saha purushaha, that is a man. Tat upanetram, that is his eyeglass. Purushasya upanetram, man's eyeglass.
Yeah, okay, let's skip the reading English sentences, just Sanskrit.
Oh, okay. Saha maheshaha tat shirastram. That I have difficulty reading that word stram. Stram is correct?
Yeah, stram, like vastram, shirastram.
Tat shirastram, maheshasya shirastram.
Shirastram means hat.
Shirastram, hat.
So hat, why is it called hat? Just if any of you want to know. Shiraha means, what is Shiraha means?
Head.
Shiraha means head.
Headgear.
And the tram. Tram means one which protects the head. Like from natural elements like cold and heat and etc. That's the hat here, Shirastram. Like one more thing, the Shiraha, is it like Ramaha or Purushaha or Maheshaha? Is it Pullingam, Akara, base word is like Rama? It is not. So just don't, this is a bit confusing. But just for your reference, Shiraha is not like Rama or Gajaha. It is not a masculine word ending in A. This is a different type of word. So if you are thinking the Shiraha is also like Rama and it becomes like Maheshasya, it becomes Shashthi, becomes Shirasya, that is not correct. So that's not right. Because Shira is actually an Napunsakalinga word ending in a Vyanjanam. So this is a different pattern. So do not, right now, will not go there. But just for reference, just be aware that Shiraha is not like Rama.
Would you break up the letters, please, in the shtum, the part of hat, the last part? I don't understand the letter.
Which one, this one?
Uh-huh.
Shira, you understood Shira?
I understand that. I don't understand the shtum.
Okay. Shira. And then after that there is a Sa, and after that there is a Ta, and after the Ha and Ma. Is that better?
I think so.
Is that clear? This one?
Yes, it's clear. Thank you.
Yeah. Shirastram. Same thing. Let's see. Let's stop. Too much time. So let's look at the slides. Now we had a question word called kaha. Like for example, kaha balakaha. What is the meaning of kaha balakaha?
Who is boy?
Yeah, who is that boy? Or who is that boy? Kaha parvataha. Which is that mountain? Like that. Kaha, who or which, depending on, in English it is different, but here it is all pullinga word. Kaha balakaha, who is that boy? So this is a question word. Now, if you want to, for that question word, the shashthi form becomes kasya. Kasya. So if you want to ask whose book is that? Whose book is that? Then we add kasya. Kasya pustakam. Kasya pustakam. Okay. You can add asti. Kasya pustakam asti means whose. This becomes whose. Whose in the sense of masculine. This is because the kaha is a masculine word, pullinga word, and its sixth case ending or shashthi vibhakti is kasya. Kasya pustakam asti. Whose book is that? Now, pustakam. What is the lingam of pustakam?
Napunsaka.
This is napunsaka lingam, but this kasya is not a napunsaka lingam word here that we are using. We are using a pullinga word, thinking that if a pustakam belongs to a boy, that boy is a pullinga word, right? Balaka is a pullinga word. So thinking that this pustaka belongs to some word which is a pullinga, then for that purpose we are using this kasya as in pullinga form. Okay? If the pustaka is belonging to a girl or something, a feminine word, then this kasya is a pullinga. We should not use kasya. We should be using a different word which is in strilinga. So we'll see that later. But right now, thinking that this object on what the question is pustakam belongs to whom? So that belongs to whom, that person is in pullingam, thinking that we are using kasya. But the answer we may get, actually this pustakam may belong to a girl. So the answer may be in strilinga word. But right now, let's confine ourselves thinking that this pustakam belongs to a boy or somebody who is pullingam, some word which is in pullingam. Note that I am using word. That may not be a person. It could be some object, but that word has to be in pullingam. For example, kasya pustakam. Kasya pustakam. Can somebody answer this? Kasya pustakam asti. Give some answer. Using this answer word in shashthi vibhakti. Kasya pustakam asti.
Ramasya pustakam asti.
Ramasya pustakam asti. Any other example? Other than Rama? Belongs to a boy.
Balakasya pustakam.
Balakasya pustakam asti. Any other example? Student.
Tasya pustakam asti.
Tasya. Yeah, tasya is there. Tasya is also okay, but we'll see that later. Let's look at simple one. Chatrasya. Chatra is a male student. Chatra, boy student. Chatrasya. And what is that? Putrasya. Putrasya. All these are examples. Or shikshakasya. Shikshaka is a teacher. Shikshakasya pustakam asti. So these could be these are different examples, and this kasya is in a pullinga word. Pullinga question word. Now, kasya phalam asti. Let's say phalam is an opposite. This is also an opposite. I want to take some other. Phalam and pustakam is see. Pustakam is similar to pustakam. Phalam is an aponsakalinga word. And let's take some kasya, some pullinga word or a strilinga word. Kasya petika asti. What is petika?
Box.
Box. Kasya petika asti.
Petikasya asti.
Kasya petika.
Kasya petikasya asti.
Kasya petika asti. What could be the answer? Same example you can. Ramasya, balakasya, putrasya, chhatrasya, shikshakasya petika. So all are valid. So this could be strilinga word, or this could be pullinga word, this could be apposicala word, doesn't matter. So this kasya we are referring to, using it in a pullinga, thinking that this petika belongs to somebody who has the pullinga word, like Rama, Balaka, Krishna, etc. So some examples are given here on the slides here. Yashah kaha, tat kim. These are the questions we have already studied before. Yashah kaha, tat kim. Answer here is balakasya kandukah asti. Answer, you have to give the answer here. Yashah kaha, yashah balakah. Tat kim saha kandukah. You know, tat kim we are asking the question in the Napumsakalinga, but the answer is in Pullinga, because we don't know this object. If we are not looking at the object, or if you don't know what is the word for the object, you can use just Napumsakalinga question, tat kim. It is a common, like what is that? So we don't know the actual word, lingam of the word which is used for the ball or whatever, pustaka, etc. Then you just use the question in a Napumsakalinga word, but the answer could be in a word which could be in a different lingam. It doesn't have to be in the Napumsakalingam, because we are asking, the question is in Napumsakalingam. So tat kim saha kandukah. Tat kim, etat kim, what is he wearing? Atra kim asti, etat kim. Or etat kim, what is on his head?
That's amazing.
I forgot words for hair and shoe.
Hair keshaha. And then what is
Kasya kasha kesha.
Balakasya keshaha. And etat kim, what is he wearing? Etat kim. So these were in the book, or maybe on the slides also. You can refer to them. Etat kim, you know.
Vastram.
Vastram. Vastram, that is good. That etat kim, balakasya vastram. Also, there is another word for shirt, yutakam. So balakasya yutakam. And there is a trousers also. There is word in the book, and maybe on the it should be on the slides and the book also. Trousers or the pants.
Patram.
Balakasya urukam. The long urukam. And what is padatranam? Shoes, padatranam. Or Napumsakalinga. Urukam, yutakam, vastram, padatranam, Napumsakalingam, keshaha, kandukaha, pullinga. Pullinga padam. So we have balakasya. Balakasya you can add. Kasya kandukaha, question. Kasya keshaha, balakasya keshaha, balakasya vastram, balakasya padatranam, balakasya hastaha, balakasya padaha, foot, balakasya padaha. So you can try to form the sentences like this. Balakasya netram, balakasya nasika, balakasya karanaha. Here. So looking at like this and using this shashthi, or the sixth case ending here, we can start forming the sentences. Now, some sentences we already seen, like mama nama. Okay, that here it is my, right? Mama nama. Note that It is not namaha. Many times people make mistakes here. Not nama. It is just nama because nama doesn't follow the patterns what we have studied. It is a different pattern. So it is an Napunsakalinga word, but it's different pattern. So we'll look at that patterns some other time. But right now, my name, this nama is in a Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam. Like Pustakam, Ramaha, Pustakam, Vastram, Phalam, Napunsakalinga Ekavachanam is Phalam. But here it is nama. It is not namam or namaha. Nama only. It is Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachanam, following a different pattern, Napunsakalinga. So that will keep it separate. But right now focusing on this mama. So this is also my. My means of me, belonging to me, like balakasya, of balaka, of me. So this is also shashthi vibhakti. This is shashthi. What is the prathama vibhakti for I? Not my. Prathama vibhakti is aham. Aham is prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. Aham means I. Its shashthi vibhakti becomes my. Sixth case ending becomes mama, of me. Mama. This aham and mama, they follow a different pattern. Its base word is also different. So, but right now, you can look at the tables and book later, but we are not, that's not our study word. Only these forms of aham and mama we can understand right now. Aham means I, mama is its shashthi vibhakti, is mama. So, mama we can use, mama pustakam, mama phalam, mama gruham, mama keshaha, mama yutakam, mama padatranam. So mama we can use wherever the shashthi is there. My. Mama nama. Nama is name. Same thing we have studied with bhavataha also, right? Bhavataha nama kim, bhavatyaha nama kim. That is one of the first things we studied. Bhavataha nama kim, bhavatyaha nama kim. So these are also shashthi vibhakti forms of their base words. Now, bhavatyaha is simple. Bhavatyaha means you are, bhavatyaha nama, you are in Strilinga. Because bhavatyaha is Strilinga, that we have studied before, bhavatyaha. The base word for bhavatyaha is bhavati. So this is like nadi, which we are going to study. Now, like Strilinga, word we are going to study. This follow the same pattern, but bhavataha is a different pattern. So, like aham, etc., it has a different pattern, so which is not in our study sentence, study word. But you can just keep using bhavataha as a shashthi vibhakti word. Bhavataha nama kim, bhavataha pustakam, kasya pustakam, if there is a question, whose book? If you want to say your book, you can say bhavataha. If that other person is a male, you can use bhavataha pustakam, your book, bhavataha gruham, your gruham, and bhavataha vatayanam, bhavataha keshaha, etc. you can use. With that, we'll stop here today. Can continue next week. If you have any questions, I'll stay back for a couple of minutes.